Sankhya Purvaka Namagana Natibi Kalab. Every day they're completing a fixed number of rounds, and Srila Prabhupada also gave us a fixed number of rounds to complete every day, 16 rounds minimum. And there's a class of person, unfortunately, who become very proud. I am chanting 1 lakh. A friend of mine was staying with one of these people, and this lady was very, very proud about, I am chanting 1 lakh every day, japamala. So they were staying in Hawaii, and the lady excused herself to go chant her japa. She went down to the beach to chant her japa. And in an hour and a half, 90 minutes later, she came back, got them all done, finished. Is it possible to chant 64 rounds in an hour and a half? You can't move the beads that fast. But she's thinking, I am chanting 1 lakh every day. Srila Prabhupada's prescription was chant 16 rounds and go out and preach Krishna consciousness to encourage other people to take up the process of chanting the holy name. Because this is the reason we spend thousands of crores of rupees to build big temples, to distribute books, to distribute prasadam, just to get the masses of people sufficiently purified that they can appreciate the value of sitting down with a japamala and chanting the holy name. Just for this. Srila Prabhupada explained that the temples are for the masses of people, so that they can come and get an impression of the personality of Godhead. Here He is, and He has a name. He's not nameless, formless, a zero, a light, a void, a nothing. He's a person, and He has a name. So to educate people, to purify their dulled brains, out of compassion for society, we build temples all over the world. Some foolish people think, why build a mandir? Better to build a hospital. But can a hospital solve the problem of death? It cannot. Even the most well-equipped hospital, most up-to-date technology, most educated, brilliant doctors, they can never solve the problem of death. Neither can food distribution solve the problem of hunger, or medicine distribution solve the problem of disease. The only solution to these problems is spiritual education, vidyadan, to teach Bhagavatam, to teach Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma chamik divyam evam yoviti tattva tattva punar janma naiti mameti sorjana. The Lord is saying, if you understand me by education that our temples are providing, at the time of death, chaktva deham, punarjanma, no more birth. Birth is the problem. What is our main problem in life? That we've been born. And all the concomitant factors of misery come from that we've taken birth in this material world. Because we're born, we become diseased. Because we're born, we have to die. We have to become old. We have to suffer. We become depressed, unhappy. All the miseries of life can be traced back to this one thing. We're born in the material world. And the only solution to that is spiritual education. To teach people who you are. What is this? What is Atma? What is Prakriti? What is Pradhan? What is Bhagwan? Because people don't know. They simply don't know. So this is the greatest act of compassion, is to build temples, to distribute books, to distribute Mahaprasadam, that people's brains can become clear in order that they can understand who is the personality of Godhead. So to make a positive contribution to that effort, we require to chant our japa. Otherwise, we're in disease condition. Krishna doesn't need our service, is it? Lakshmi sahasrasata brahma siddhyamanam govindam adi purusham tamaham. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Govinda, is being served by lakhs and crores of gopis. Does He need our service? Goddesses of fortune are waiting on His every need. Does He need our little patram pushpam palam tvayam? He doesn't need. Millions of flowers come out when the proper season comes. Does he need our flour? Atlantic Ocean is there, Pacific Ocean is there, Mediterranean Sea is there, Caspian Sea is there. Billions, innumerable gallons of water is there. Why is the Lord asking for water? Does he need fruits? When the season comes, the trees are overburdened with fruits. Does he need our fruit, our water, our flour? What does he want? He wants our bhakti. And if that is ever to manifest in our life, we have to be strict sadhakas. Sometimes I see devotees come to Krishna consciousness, they're very sincere, utsahamayi, very enthusiastic. I'm going to become pure devotee in 6 months. I'll conquer lust, I'll conquer greed, I'll conquer envy. 6 months, bus. Is it easy? Is it possible? It's not possible. But then they find out, actually, not so easy. So they get initiated, but then they slack back. Oh, I chanted 8 rounds, good enough. Krishna Nam is very powerful. Our standard is 16 rounds, 16 attentive rounds, not helanam, inattentive rounds. To hear Krishna, because actually we chant with our mind, not just moving your fingers and moving beads. This will not give you the desired result. We have to hear Krishna and remember Krishna. And this takes time. Anyone can do kirtan in any condition of life, but for smaranam, for remembering Krishna, the heart has to become purified. For that we have to focus, we have to concentrate on the task at hand, which is to hear Krishna's name. So, Srila Prabhupada said, 16 rounds. Haridas Thakur said, this is my disease. I'm not able to complete my rounds. So Lord Chaitanya said, it's okay. You're a liberated soul. You spent your whole life chanting 3 lakhs of rounds, 300,000 names. Inconceivable task. Haridas Thakur, all he did, hardly he's not eating, hardly he's sleeping. Simply chanting day in and day out. This is only possible for a liberated soul. So Lord Chaitanya said, you're old, your health is not good, it's okay. Srila Prabhupada comments in the purport that unless one is on the spontaneous stage of devotional service, raga, one must follow the rules and regulations of Krishna Bhakti. This is another pitfall. There is a class of person who thinks, I will just get Gopi Baba, like on a silver plate. Here, take Gopi Baba, Ekadashi Bhav. Yesterday I was Rikshawala, today I am Manjari. Is it possible that someone can give this to you so easily? Your eternal relationship with the Lord? Srila Gorkashore Das Babaji Maharaj said that our eternal Siddha Swarup is revealed to us in the syllables of the holy name of the Lord. Bas. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur taught the same thing, and Srila Prabhupada taught us the same thing, to chant Krishna's name and serve. And by mercy, by spiritual advancement, with struggle and dedication, by mercy, by kripa, our spiritual identity is revealed to us. It's not handed to you. This is your eternal name, your gopi form, your gopi dress, your gopi husband. Is this so easy? Is this the process in Kali Yuga that the masses of people can take to? We chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, because this is the process recommended in Vedas. Vedas say, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti sudashakam nam kalikama sanasanam nata parataropaya sarva vedeshu drishyate. If you search the entire body of Vedic knowledge, you'll not find a process more effective, more easily prosecuted than this simple process of chanting the Lord's holy name. Because by that, we understand who we are. Because we don't just preach, you're not your body, but what are you? Who are you? What is your relationship with Krishna? That is revealed in due course of time by our progress in spiritual life, by chanting very, very seriously. So Haridas Thakur, was saying this, and Prabhupada comments that we should be as long as we're not on this platform of raga bhakti, which comes out, you can't skip over any process. Ado shraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti, nishta, asakti. We can't skip over any process. We can't jump. If you're in college, can you jump from freshman year to senior year? You have to go through the process. This is how everything works. Can you decide, I've graduated from medical college and now I'll start operating on somebody? There's a process. And in spiritual life is no different. We can't jump over the progressive stages of devotional life. The goal is raga. Anarpita chirim chirat karunaya bhatirna kalo samarparitum unnato jalarasam bhakti swabhakti shriyam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach this. The intimate stages of bhakti that's available to Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Not this dasya bhav, that you're the Lord and I have to be very, very careful. In the beginning, we have to approach, Prabhupada said, we worship Radha Krishna in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan. But ultimately, Radha Krishna is worshipped in Raga Marg. So can you just decide, I'm going to worship Radha Krishna in Raga Marg? You have to go through the process to come to that stage of spontaneous affection, and it's available to us by sincere sadhana, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, minimum 16 rounds. So although Haridas Thakur was saying, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was telling him, you don't have to chant so much, you've done this your whole life, you're already liberated, what's the big deal? You can back off a little bit, no problem. He said, no. What is my heart's desire? What is the most important desire to me? That I leave my body with your lotus feet on my chest and my eyes like two bumblebees fixed on your beautiful lotus face, giving up my body, chanting Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. And then Haridas Thakur exhibits extreme humility. He says, what is the loss of an insignificant insect like me? Leaves. What is the loss? He said, millions of devotees are fit to sit on my head. Because this is the symptom of a person who's actually advanced in Krishna consciousness. There's no ahankar, abhiman, I'm great. Srila Prabhupada defines humility in Bhagavad Gita purport as not having the desire to be honored by others. But this is our desire. We all appreciate it. We say, oh, Milan Madhav is such a great devotee. He's born in a family of devotees. He loves Mayapur, stays in Mayapur, does Ganga Snan, so great. See, he's becoming. We like to be praised. We like this thing. But Srila Sanatana Goswami describes at the very end of Hari Bhakti Vilas that don't touch this thing of false ego. Don't touch it. Because it's very difficult to give up, and it's the root of all anarthas. It's the root of all anarthas. And it's very difficult to give up, so don't touch this thing. So Haridas Thakur was exhibiting the actual symptom of advanced devotee. He's not thinking, I'm a great devotee, I'm a GBC, I'm a temple president, I'm a guru, I'm a Prabhupada disciple, I'm a manager, I'm a brahmachari, I'm a successful grihastha. These are all anarthas. Who are we? Gopi Bhartu Padakamala or Dasa Dasa Anudasa. This is our identity. Simply servant to the Lord. This is described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Sarvupadi Vinirmuktam Tatparatvaina Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchyate. The first proposal of bhakti is to give up upadis, designations, who we think we are. We don't know who we are. So why should we think, I'm very great? We're very small. Keshagra Shatapagasha Shatada Kalpitascha. We're tiny, insignificant living beings, sparks of spirit. But we think, I am very great. So we give up this thing and follow the example of Haridas Thakur, who showed he's avatar of the Lord, personal associate of the Lord. The Lord showed him so much kindness and mercy, but he's thinking, I am an insignificant insect. Millions of devotees are fit to sit on my head. So Haridas Thakur took the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya on his chest and chanted Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, with his eyes like two bumblebees hovering on the beautiful lotus feet of the Lord. And he took dust from all the devotees that had assembled there. He took the dust of their feet on his head and left his body and returned to his original position. So this is Haridas Thakur. And one important lesson we can get from this pastime is how much the Lord cares for his devotees. Because Lord Chaitanya personally took the transcendental body of Haridas Thakur and danced in Sankirtan. Then he took his body to the ocean, bathed his body with his own hands. With his own hands, he placed the body in the Samadhi pit with Lord Jagannath, Chandan, Mahaprasadam, silk robes, his vastra. Put that with Haridas Thakur's body, and with his own hands covered his body with sand. Then Lord Chaitanya went to the mandir and begged prasadam from everybody and made a big festival to glorify Haridas Thakur. So much love the Lord has for his devotee. He is called Bhakta Vatsa. Why? Vatsa means a calf. I lived at our temple in North Carolina called Prabhupada Village. It's a farm community. One devotee was keeping cows. So one of the cows gave birth to a beautiful calf. And we all gathered to welcome the calf into the community. We gave some garland, some chandan, had little kirtan, offered little arti. So there was one small dog. The cow was on one side of the fence. The new calf was on the other side of the fence. And one small dog came up to see, what is this baby calf? He's like little tiny dog, not like a big ferocious dog with teeth. A small little, we say, lap dog. It's a tiny little dog. So he comes up sniffing. And when the mother cow saw this dog coming towards her calf, she practically broke down the fence to protect her calf. So much affection the cow has for calf. This is why we say Lord is Bhakta Vatsal. He has the same affection as the mother cow has for his calf. So much love and affection for devotee. Jai Shri Sitaram ki jai, Shri Radha Parthasarthi ki jai, Shri Gauranitai ki jai. So this is one of the prominent lessons we can understand from this Leela. How much affection Lord shows. We read in Srimad Bhagavatam, Aham Bhakta Paradino, Nasvatanta Ivadvaja, Saudabhir Grasta Hridayam Bhakta Bhakta Jano Priyaha. He says, Lord said in this Leela with Jai Vijay that I'm controlled by devotees. He explained to Jai Vijay that I'm controlled, Naswatantra Ivadvaja, no, not to Jai Vijay, to, in this Leela with Maharaj Ambarish, Dravasa Muni. Naswatantra Ivadvaja, oh my dear Dvija, my dear Brahmana, I am under the control of my devotees. I have no independence. I'm controlled by them. He's Parthasarthi. Arjuna should be driving Krishna, serving Krishna, but Krishna becomes servant of his devotee. Nanda Maharaj asked Yashoda Maya, what can your Krishna do? So Mother Yashoda said, you go get your father's shoes. And Krishna is taking Nanda Baba's shoes on his head. He said, yes. And bringing his father's shoes. I brought your shoes, Father. Krishna becomes subordinate to his devotee out of love for his devotee. As Lord Chaitanya showed us in his relationship with Haridas Thakur. So this is the most amazing thing, isn't it? That the omniscient Lord, the all-powerful Lord, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavamasak Sarvam Bhavardhari, millions of universes, everything is coming from Him. Supreme Controller, Parameshwar, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchirananda Vigraha. Anadiradi Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Supreme Ishwar, Parameshwar. Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. Planets are being manifest and destroyed. The whole show is manifest by him. But what position does he take? Servant of his devotees. He said in Bhagavatam, in the Jai Vijay Leela, he told Jai Vijay that if my arm offends my devotee, I will cut off my own arm if it offends my devotee. And how have I become auspicious? How have I become worshipable? Because I serve the lotus feet of my devotees. This is the inconceivable position of devotee. And this is why Krishna Bhakti is the most difficult thing. People think jnana is everything. But what does Krishna say? Bahunam jamanamante jnanamamam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sadurlabha. After many births of practicing jnana, someone who's jnanavan, who knows things as they are, what does he do? Krishna says, mam prapadyate, he surrenders to me. Jnana is nothing. It's helpful for the process of bhakti, to understand what is this world, who am I, what is material nature, pradhan, prakriti, what is the nature of this world that we live. This is helpful, but you'll never get Krishna prema from jnana. Someone who's jnanavan, he surrenders to Krishna, knowing Vasudeva Sarvamiti, that Vasudeva, Krishna is everything. He's a supreme objective of life. There's nothing more than that. And Samahatma Sudurlabha, Krishna says this person is Sudurlabha Mahatma, most rare, fortunate person. Chaitanya Charitamrita says the same thing. Brahmanda Brahmite Konya Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasadi Pai Bhakti Lata Besh. After wandering for millions of lifetimes, through millions of Brahmandas, someone who's Bhagyavan Jeev takes shelter of Krishna, he gets the seed of Bhakti Lata. So even the most neophyte devotee that comes to our temple, new bhakta, who's chanting Krishna Nam, he is Sudurlabha Mahatma by Krishna's estimation. Because Vasudeva Sarvamiti, he accepts Krishna as everything. There's no higher goal than Krishna Prema. And Krishna shows us all affection and kindness. Yastrenda gopamata ganda mahosva karma bandhanu rupa palavachana natanoti. That he breaks the bondage of our own past karma. We come under the direct protection of Lord Krishna when we come to Krishna Bhakti. Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam govindamadi purusham tambahamajam. So when things happen in devotee's life, we may think, why is this happening to me? I'm your devotee. Did Mother Kunti pray like that? Did the Pandavas pray like that? Did Krishna's own mother pray like that, who went blind crying for Krishna when Krishna left Vrindavan? When will he come back? He's not coming back. Where is Krishna? When will he come back? Vipralamba bhav. So we should not think if there's some little obstacle in our life, some problem, some depression, that Krishna is not being kind to us. Yasya hamanugranami harishe taddanam shanai. Krishna said the first installment of my mercy is that he takes everything away. Srila Prabhupada's father, Gaur Mohan De, would say, God has 10 hands. And if he wants to give you with his 10 hands, how much can you take with your 2 hands? And if he wants to take away with his 10 hands, how much can you hold on to? So what is our solution? We take our 2 hands and we fold them and we bow down to the Lord. We accept whatever you give us. Stuyate chatakena. Rupa Goswami prayed, this Tatik bird, he prays to the cloud. You please send water. I'm thirsty. He doesn't like to drink water from the ground. So the cloud sends rain. Cloud also sends thunderbolts. So mercy may come to us as thunderbolts also. And we see that in the lives of great devotees like Srila Prabhupada. If you want to know how to understand your life, or what to do in your life, look at the life of Srila Prabhupada. Pure devotee, acknowledged by his god brothers as Shaktiavesh avatar. Many devotees. Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, Yajavar Maharaj, Bhakti Pramod, Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj, all had so much reverence for Srila Prabhupada. This person is not ordinary. He's Avesh of Nityananda, Shaktiavesh avatar, empowered to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. But how much Srila Prabhupada suffered. Practically he left his body coming across the ocean. And when he got here, was there any shelter for him? When devotees go to other places in the world, there's waiting car, there's garland, there's Mahaprasad, there's a nice place to stay, there's nice kirtan, nice temple, full facility. What did Prabhupada have when he came? Nothing. Staying at the home of a meat eater, putting his vegetables in the refrigerator, in the same refrigerator with the cat food and beef. Prabhupada tolerated everything. Did it end there? He had, practically speaking, no place to stay. And it's freezing cold in New York City, 30 below in New York City. What did he have? Chadar, dhoti, hat. 30 below. Prabhupada said, I practically froze to death. He had no food. You read in his diary, 10 cents for 2 bananas, 25 cents haldi, 15 cents atta. Practically he starved. No one to cook for him, no one to wash his clothes, no garland, no seva. And he was attacked by one crazy hippie guy, intoxicated on drugs, thrown down, old man from material calculation, attacked by young men, thrown down the stairs. His Gita manuscript that he labored for years to produce was stolen along with his typewriter. So many obstacles came in Srila Prabhupada's life. Why? For his own glory, because Krishna is showing through the example of Srila Prabhupada what it means to surrender to Krishna, what it means to be a pure devotee. In all circumstances of life, never waver in your Krishna bhakti. We see this also in the life of other examples in Bhagavatam. Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj was cursed by his guru. He lost his whole kingdom. He was bound by Garuda. And he tolerated everything. Yes, I accept everything happening. To show what is the glory of pure devotional service, Atma Nivedanam. But what was the result? He got his own planet, hundreds of times more than heavenly planets, Sutala Lok. And the Lord himself became a doorkeeper. This is Krishna. He wants to glorify his devotee. So sometimes when we see obstacles coming to our life, we should see this is coming also by Lord's arrangement. Ishvara Parama Krishna. He's the Supreme Controller, we're not the Supreme Controller. And He's full of mercy also. So a Supreme Controlling Merciful Lord, how can whatever comes to us not be in our interest? It comes to us by mercy. And we accept whatever Lord gives us and make progress in spiritual life, knowing it is good for us. I'll give you a personal example, if you don't mind. My father was a wealthy man. He was an orthopedic surgeon. It was his birthday. We were all gathered at the table. And the house we were living in, a big wooden house constructed by my grandfather, who was an architect, caught on fire. So we all had to run out of the house, because you don't stay in the house like, oh, where did it start? What's going on? What happened? You get out of the house. Save your life. You can replace the house, but you can't replace your life. So I'm standing on the front lawn of this house and watching huge flames coming out, the whole top floor of the house burned down. And I'm thinking, my life is definitely changing right now. A long story short, if that had not happened, I never would have met devotees. Because I went to live in one place, and the people there, we were students and artists and many things. But had I not gone to that place, those people never would have taken me to Prabhupada's temple in Portland, Oregon. They said, let's go, Hare Krishna temple. I said, what's Hare Krishna? Hare what? Hare Krishna. What's that? Never mind, they serve this wonderful vegetarian feast and it's free. Chalo, let's go, you have my attention, let's go. So from what one person may think is the greatest disaster, to lose everything you have and be left with nothing but the clothes on your back, it turned into the greatest blessing in my life. Somehow or other, that event brought me to stepping into the temple, Srila Prabhupada's temple in Portland, Oregon, and taking shelter of the devotees there. So we should have faith that whatever is happening in our life is being organized, ordained, and blessing us. And not take issue with what the Lord's arrangement for us in our life. Because He's most affectionate to His devotees, and this was showed very wonderfully in this Leela with Haridas Thakur and Lord Chaitanya, who offered so much service, personal service. We're servants of the Lord. The Lord becomes servant of His devotee. Lord says in Srimad Bhagavatam that I don't know anything but the devotees. The devotees are in my heart, and the devotees don't know anything but me. And Bhaktar Bhakti Jana Priyaha, even the devotee of my devotee is very dear to me. So we're devotees of great devotees like Srila Prabhupada. As long as there's an Iskcon, Srila Prabhupada is the preeminent Siksha Guru, founder, Acharya, and his mercy is raining down on all of us. When I see all of you, I see Prabhupada's mercy. And it's very, very encouraging to know that Iskcon is in good hands. Because as even great devotees, as Haridas Thakur, incarnations of the Lord appear in this world, they also disappear. So all of Srila Prabhupada's disciples will also disappear. It's the saddest thing to see another devotee has left, another god brother, another god sister has left. And in due course of time, we'll all be gone. And who will take charge of pushing on Srila Prabhupada's Iskcon? Think of this deeply. It's not a happy thought to know that in due course of time, your Guru Maharaj has to leave, all Prabhupada disciples have to leave. But think deeply about this, because now is the time to prepare yourself to take charge of Srila Prabhupada's Iskcon, because it will come to you sooner than you think. Are you ready? Yes or no? Yes. Who? Yes. Yes. Thank you. Know it for certain that the entire weight and responsibility of pushing on Lord Chaitanya's movement through the chosen vehicle, Srila Prabhupada's Iskcon, will come to you sooner than you think. Many of you brahmacharis will be sannyasis one day. Some of you will have disciples also. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to give your entire life for pushing on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement? Because this is the responsibility that will come to you. It's not just about Hari Bol and Palak Paneer and Gulab Jamuns and Hari Hari Bol. Nice life. They don't ask me to do much service. I eat well. They don't bother me too much. It's a nice place to live. Sattvic people. We should be ready to accept the austerity that Srila Prabhupada showed. To accept anything in the service of the Lord. Required. Anything required. To push on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. And be completely serious and sincere in the foundational activity of our spiritual life, which is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is the foundation of our life. If you want to build a building and it has no good foundation, you can build it to a certain extent, then it will fall over. And unfortunately, we've seen this in the lives of some devotees. They do very good service, they rise very high, they do wonderful things, but they fall over because they neglect this one thing. Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, 16 rounds every day minimum. So Haridas Thakur is our Acharya, Namacharya Haridas, who showed the example of complete dedication to chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we follow that. Follow his example of chanting and follow Srila Prabhupada's example of selfless dedication to the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then there's no doubt that Krishna consciousness will spread to every town and village. I'm fortunate to be living in Mayapur, and it just came to my attention that in West Bengal alone, they do 90 Rath Yatras. 90 Rath Yatras just in West Bengal. And more than 2 million people are involved in this Namhatta program. Where I'm staying, it's right adjacent to the Namhatta building. And every weekend, there's thousands of people that are chanting, Hari Bol, Hari Bol! Big loud kirtan, prasadam distribution. What did Prabhupada do? What did he start? And it's all meant to be carried on by you. Because you're the future. You're all young men and women. This movement will be in your hands sooner than you think. So please, my request to you, on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, be more sincere. Chant better japa, read Prabhupada's books, because one day you're sitting here and you have to preach to young devotees that will come by the thousands to take shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. This is a fact. This is called parampara. One after another. So that responsibility will come to all of you. Please take it and be blessed. Make your life perfect. And at the end, when the last breath comes to you, you'll go back to Godhead. Because we're all standing in line. We're standing in a queue. What is that queue? It's called the last breath queue. Someone is at the head of the line. They have a few hours, a few moments left to live before they take their last breath. Someone is standing at the back of the line. But we're all standing in this queue of death. So before we have to leave our body, we can hope to become perfect in Krishna consciousness and fix our mind on the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and at the end go back to Godhead. By the blessing of great devotees like Srila Prabhupada, our acharyas, and the assembly of great sages and sadhus, sadhvis, like all of you. Pancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. Does anyone have any comment or question? Or if I made any mistake? I'm prone to that. I'm an old man now. Yes, Prabhuji? Can you, does he have a microphone?
Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing your wonderful realization. And I'm really blessed to hear from you. And I can see how much love you have for Srila Prabhupada movement. Prabhuji, my question is that when I get inspiration, when I get association like you doers, I get more inspired to serve Prabhupada. And to maintain that enthusiasm, it is quite difficult for me.
If what?
How to maintain the same enthusiasm, the carelessness comes in, and then because of the enjoying mentality, it does not allow us to become. The desire is there to become sincere, but when it comes to an action, it requires a lot of sacrifice. How you develop that, and how, as a sadhaka, how can I develop this mood of sacrifice?
Shastra emphasizes sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha, sarva shastra hoy, lavamatra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. Association with a sadhu can give you Krishna. Even a moment's association can give you. Satam prasangad mama virya sambhido bhavanti hritkarana rasayana prada. Many verses are there emphasizing sadhu sangha. And I'll say practically in my life, I'm sitting here by the mercy of devotees. Because when I first went to the temple with my friends, first thing I saw, Dinabandhu Prabhu. And Kalakanta Prabhu was taking initiation. So I'm here by mercy of Dinabandhu. Because he didn't preach to me, what are you eating? Do you have a girlfriend? What kind of life do you have? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you do this. He just told us stories. He was our friend. We didn't know what is Bhagavad Gita. We didn't know what is a deity, what is Kirtan, what is Bhajan, what is Mahamantra. But we thought, let us go to the temple to talk to that guy. He's the nicest guy we ever met. And because of his kindness, and actually because of the kindness of his wife, because we went one day, my friend and myself, two of us joined at the same time. We went one day to talk to Dinabandhu, and Dinabandhu was out of station. He was off doing some business. So his wife filled us up to the neck with Krishna Prasad. I still remember, wet cauliflower, potato, paneer, sabji, halwa, puri, rice, chutney, up to the neck, we couldn't move. Then my friend said, okay, let's go. And she said to us, why are you leaving? And I thought, why am I leaving? These people are wonderful. This food is wonderful. This philosophy is wonderful. I'm staying. So the point is that we make friends with people. Not that we immediately jump on them. Are you eating lasun pyaj? Do you have Ganesh on your altar? Saraswati, Lord Shiva, Ma Durga? Are you worshipping demigods also? I mean, we don't do that, you know. Immediately they'll think, oh, I can't be part of these people because I do all these things. We welcome people. Instead of, what's your name? Where are you from? You hear Srila Prabhupada preaching to some people and hardly he says anything about Krishna. He's making friends. And when you become friendly with someone, you can help them, direct them in their spiritual progress. There's also a discussion. I just joined the Congregational Development program in Mayapur. And we're studying the wonderful book of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, whose disappearance was yesterday, called Godruma Kalpatavi. And it's all about Bhakti Vriksha, about Namhatta and Shraddha Kutir. We don't hear this, Shraddha Kutir. But he also emphasizes what is Shraddha Kutir. Shraddha Kutir means just the most basic qualification to be part of the community. 3 things. No non-veg eating in the home. You want to eat non-veg, go somewhere else. We don't even require you to be vegetarian, but don't eat in your home. Everyone in the home is favorable to Krishna Bhakti, and someone in the home is chanting a fixed number of rounds. Bas. And then he would give one certificate and make this a bhakti home, Shraddha Kutir. And people think, I can be part of this. Instead of telling people, you can't be part of this because you're non-vegetarian. You're worshipping demigods. You're not eating pure food. You don't even offer your food. What's wrong with you? One time I heard one devotee giving Sunday feast lecture. And they're very adamant. No illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, no meat eating. This is what it means to be a devotee. Sound attractive? You want to join? Well, I say, please come. Chant with us. For 1 year, Srila Prabhupada never said anything about these charniyam. Nothing. Just come, take prasadam, chant with us, become sane. And when your brain is sane, then you make more progress. So this is a great lesson, that association of devotees is everything. By association of devotees, we get enthusiasm. Prabhupada said one time that if you leave the association of devotees and you think you're going to make spiritual progress, you're living a hallucination. We feel inspired by association of devotees. But sometimes we also be irritated by devotees also. Where's this animal called sahi? It has these quills. It's like a cat, but it has these quills. So in the winter time, they have to become very close to each other to stay warm, like we see monkeys in Vrindavan, right? They're all huddled together. So these sahi, they also huddle together. But because they have these quills, they poke each other. They need each other to stay warm. They give each other trouble also. So association of devotees is something like that. We need each other. But because of material qualities that are still existent in our character, sometimes we offend each other. So we bow down to devotees every day. Remember the value of the association of devotees. We pray at the lotus feet of devotees, Vancha Kalpatru. Why? Because they're oceans of mercy. They want to give you Krishna. Where in the world will you find anyone who folds their hands to you and calls you Prabhu or calls you Mataji, who wants to feed you, who wants to see you happy, who wants to see you make progress in spiritual life. Only here, in the association of devotees. Outside here, your competition. Get out of my way, I'm better, I'm faster, I'm smarter, I'm richer. Get out of my way, I'm the best. Here in Krishna consciousness, in association of devotees, we can be enthusiastic. Does that answer your question, Prabhupada? Anything else? Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai.